The name's Bond. Karen Bond. And my new secret gadget is a tampon that when you pull the string turns into a grenade. This is 007 feminist, baby. But remember, Mrs. Bond, this is a stealth mission, so you'll have to keep your voice down. But in all seriousness, a female Bond should be called 00 Alimony. And she defeats her enemies with child support payments and customer service complaints. The name's Alimony. 00 Alimony. Sparkling wine and call your manager. Hold on, wait, I'm getting an image. Yes, it's becoming clear. I can see the future, and I see the lowest rated and least profitable 007 movie of all time. Hold on a second, that's not it. I see a lot of empty seats. My God, that is a lot of empty seats. Hit the like button and subscribe now. So the new Bond movie is called No Time to Watch. No Time to Die, whatever the it's called. In all fairness, this should be called James Bond spitting on Sean Connery's grave. At least Mr. Connery didn't have to live to see this absolute desecration. It's ironic that he died a few months before the movie was announced, and now the character that he made famous is dead. Wow, but if you listen closely, you can hear Ian Fleming rolling in his grave hard enough to power all of London for the rest of his existence. If people would see who Ian Fleming truly was and see the inspiration for the Bond character, it would make a lot of people understand why James Bond has to stay the way he is. Anyway, No Time to Die is scheduled to come out, and there's nothing I like more than being talked into saving money, because Hollywood is in a terrible place in 2021. The amount of lazy copy and paste storytelling is frustrating to say the least. There are no Hollywood writers that are capable of creating a new character. They're not capable of creating anything. All they are woke commie activists that do China's bidding at a moment's notice, such as removing black actors from posters in China. Isn't that ironic? The dainty fairies who virtue signal about diversity the loudest are willing to put said people of color under the bus. Isn't that funny? Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked here. There's no skill in Hollywood at this point. It would be reasonable at this point to question whether said writers have the creative ability to tell a good story at all, or if the SJW crowd are capable of creating anything original. Of course not. There's more chance of me waking up tomorrow with a pair of titties and a gaping snatch. Hollywood is like, nah, let's just steal a character made famous by a white straight male. The fans will love it. But let me make something clear. If they want to, for example, make a series about a side character and then name the series after them instead of piggybacking of Bond's popularity, I'd be perfectly fine with that. Nobody has a problem with there being a female 00 agent. Matter of fact, I'd be more than open to that. I'm all for a 005 or a 009 female agent. Hell, make it a spin-off movie with all the 00 agents you can think of. But there can only be one 007, and it needs to be James Bond, and it needs to be a man. Anything else is a pathetic attempt to infuriate people and lose money. Sometimes I think to myself, there's no way they could do that, but then again, I'm reminded every day what era I'm living in, unfortunately. It wouldn't surprise me if in 2025 we see a Jane Bond with a cape and superpowers, where she tag teams with Captain Marvel to smash the patriarchy. Please kill me. By the way, the female Bond has already been done. Her name is Charlize Theron. It's called Atomic Blonde. It's a really good movie. Anyway, my audience is 99% American, so I should explain that to international viewers, James Bond is a cultural icon in Britain. The character is so synonymous with us that he was front and center in a home Olympic ceremony in 2012 right next to the Queen. So the sheer hubris hubris of these people to think that they could walk into a fandom steeped in history and lore and change the very fabric and structures that make it what it is, and then have the nerve to call the fanbase toxic for not embracing that garbage. Yeah, you got it backwards, sugar. To say that is insulting to multiple generations is an understatement. But I find it funny, frankly, because the name's broke. Double the broke. This movie's gonna tank and it's gonna be glorious. Look, I just want to say this to make my point even further. James Bond has always been played by a British native male with a traditional clean-cut, sharp look, gadgets, guns, and with women falling into 007's arms, shaken but not stirred, baby. When it comes down to it, James Bond is a male power fantasy. A male power fantasy. Adding a female James Bond taints not only what it is at its core, but also what the original creator wanted. Just do some research on Ian Fleming. But I will say this, since we're on the topic, Henry Cavill was literally born to play Bond. He has the look, the swagger, the accent. I mean, he's a decent human being as well. I mean, the fella bagged Gina Carano. I mean, get this son of a gun the Congressional Medal of Chad. Anyway, look, when it comes to No Time to Die, they hired Phoebe Wallbanger, or Wallbridge, whatever the fuck her name is. But the moment that I heard that she was involved, I was like, oh, here we go. Oh joy, another film to lecture the audience. I mean, wokeness is destroying any art that it's incorporated in. But I also heard a few months ago that they were banning the term Bond girl on set. I was like, that's enough for me. But even then I was like, look, Daniel Craig is my third favorite Bond of all time, after Sean Connery and Roger Moore, so maybe he could pull a rabbit out of the hat. But then I came to my senses and said, who am I kidding? I've been duped far too many times. As far as I'm concerned, the franchise is done. Not just for the many reasons I laid out today, there's many more. From what I've heard, the No Time to Die film underwent test audiences before the beer virus, as well as reshoots directly following those screenings, and considering the film's marketing has been pretty silent up until now, the best guess is that the film is a jumbled up mess like its predecessor Spectre. And there's one more thing we need to bring up, because this might be the most disastrous thing yet. No Time to Die needs to make $900 million to break even. Yeah, you heard that right. 900 mil. Who spends that much on a movie? Are they going to blow up every building in Europe? I mean, is King Kong gonna show up? Why is the budget so astronomically high? I mean, that should be red flag number 20. With close to $1 billion at stake, they're gonna have no time to make profit. Wink, wink. Now that should be the title of the movie. We all know that's gonna happen. I think MGM is about to have their expectations subverted at the box office. That is why they were desperately trying to sell the rights to Netflix and Apple last year. Imagine being stupid enough to think someone would cough up $600 million for this disaster. That is almost as dumb as being intentionally woke to divide your audience. Just almost. That's why the vast amount of people working in the film industry in Hollywood would have been asylum inmates 100 years ago. But the bottom line is, Bond is a man, Indiana Jones is a man, Ripley is a woman, Charlie's Angels are all women, Buffy the Vampire is a girl, and so on and so forth. It's not really hard to stick to the story, but men in general aren't interested in a female Bond, and women in general aren't interested in Bond movies. So who are you making this for? Who the f*** knows? And on that bombshell, Mannix out.